Hello and welcome back to another episode of News You Missed, the video game news show that recaps what happened this week in video game news that might be important to you and the video game industry at large. So what news did you miss? Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be covering some very interesting stories today. We have a new Nintendo dock announced, Nintendo Switch and possibly PlayStation warranties being changed a little bit, a miniature SNK cabinet that plays tons of games, as well as being able to play Steam on your phone, with several other stories that are very interesting and pretty cool. So if you're interested in that, make sure to stay tuned. But first, I do have a small promo. You guys remember Mobile Grip? I've promoted them in the past. Basically, all this does is it's a piece of plastic. You put your phone into it, and then it snaps into place, and it makes it so you have a controller, and you're able to still use your phone's touch controls. I know some people don't exactly want to carry around a separate controller, so this is a nice solution and an alternative, as well as just being able to get a grip on your phone if you have some games that work really well and you just like to hold them in controller form. I'll go ahead and put a link in the description below. This happens to be the black edition of Mobile Grip, so if you're interested in that, please make sure to check into that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a paid promo. They just send me the product. I go ahead and let you know about it. Maybe you're interested, maybe you're not. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just jump right into the news. The first story that I'm going to be covering is Aces for Nintendo Switch is now available for pre-order. That's Nintendo UK Store. I'm sure it's going to extend over into other countries as well. That's Mario Tennis Aces. The big thing about this is that you get a visor. Kind of like, you know, they wear visors when they're playing tennis. You get to choose between a Mario or Luigi one if you do pre-order it. I think you should get both, but I guess that's asking for a bit much. It's kind of crappy that you don't get both, but it's cool that you do get something outside of just digital content. I really appreciate that. Next up, we have the Nintendo revealing their official Switch charging stand. Imagine the Wii U's charging stand that you just set the Wii U on it, it charges, and you can still use it somewhat. That's basically what this is. Okay, so what it does is it allows you to set your Switch down and play it while it's charging and outputting possibly HDMI. I mean, it's alright, man. If you want more information, if you want more detail on this, go ahead and check into it. I think it's an alright stand, and the price is going to be set at $20. It's a lot better than third-party docks that happen to block your Nintendo Switch and brick it and end up breaking it. So, speaking of those, we do have something interesting that did come out, though, about Nintendo and Sony's console warranties that suck just a little bit less. And they clarified some of the speech and the terminologies that they were stating in the warranty information so that it becomes a little bit easier to use. One of the biggest things is that removing those stickers that say voided aren't accurate anymore. So the warranty doesn't just apply to any damage caused by removing the seals and opening up the console, which means a little bit different things. A lot of people, you open up your console and you try and clean it off, you ended up voiding your warranty, you know, with some canned air, get the dust out of it. Yeah, there's really no other way of doing it. It's a small compact console and you do have to clean it out eventually. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. It's warranty information. Nintendo also had a statement on this. I mean, it's your typical marketing statement. So if you want the information, please go ahead and take the link in the description down below. Ironically enough, Microsoft has not changed their warranty terms, but you know, while they're concerned with the line of talk, the FTC, there hasn't been anything brought against them yet. So, you know, if this isn't enough, I'm sure we'll see it in a court lawsuit or something like that. SNK has announced the NeoGeo Mini, and it will play 40 games. Now, taking the original NeoGeo cabinet and turning it into a very miniature tabletop kind of arcade experience is pretty cool. This thing is awesome. Now, a lot of people aren't going to like this because of its small size and how you have to hold the controller like this to play it or play it on the table like this, and that might not be your thing, which is why they've also stated that there's going to be support for external HDMI hookups as well as controller ports. So all those old games you used to play on your SNK or NeoGeo, or you just weren't rich enough to afford a NeoGeo, now you might be able to play them. Again, this is 40 games, and yeah, it supports a headphone jack as well, so you'll be able to be playing this on big screen, which is really, really awesome. it's kind of silly that they include a small LCD screen, but I guess, you know, they're emulating an arcade cabinet, so alright, whatever. I think it's cool. There's no word on price or release date yet, but it is official, so there you go. The quest to play as Thanos in Fortnite. This is Game Informer talking about how it's very difficult for them to find the Infinity Gauntlet and become Thanos. Yeah, Fortnite has Thanos mode in conjunction with the new Avengers movie that has just recently released. And basically, if you get the gauntlet, it turns you into an overpowered, huge shielded kind of Thanos-y character in Fortnite. So that's cool, thumbs up, right? But, you know, it's kind of one of those things where you have to find the Infinity Gauntlet and actually get it first to be able to turn into Thanos, which means it's pretty much a luck of the draw wherever the gauntlet lands and if people are able to get to it or not. So that's very difficult for Fortnite players, but it is an option available to you. Speaking of Fortnite, we have some cosplay, ladies and gentlemen. Cosplay, pretty cool. I really like it. This is good. I think as games evolve, people are going to start emulating the games a lot more and more and more. This is something I would never see back in the day. People wouldn't dress up like these characters and go to conventions or just take photos of themselves as these characters. This individual, Sammy Bess, has decided to change the lack of cosplay for Fortnite and has decided to make a cosplay for Fortnite. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty cool. It's a nice character model, and I think a lot of people can appreciate people cosplaying video game characters. Cheaters, conspiracies, and Miffed girlfriends. What it's like to be a Fortnite customer support agent. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you want more on this story, you can go ahead and read it. It's massive, but it's basically a customer service representative for Fortnite and Epic Games that handle the calls. One of the funniest things, though, that they did state is that at least once a day someone calls in about a shotgun being too overpowered. I think that's hilarious. I would have guessed that there would have been more calls for other things, but it's very funny that they think, like, people think you can call a customer service representative and talk about game balance mechanics like they're developers or something. Like, really, man, there's forums for this, you know? And I guess because people want to talk to a real person, they feel that their voice is being heard. So this story is pretty interesting, and there's a lot to it. If you guys are interested in hearing about it, you can go ahead again and read through it personally yourself. So yeah, being a customer support representative for a game that is played by a lot of aged people, young, old. Yeah, it's a popular game, so you're going to get a lot of calls. There was a leaked E3 list of games by Walmart in Canada, and I took a screenshot. I go ahead and posted it on Twitter, and yeah, there's a lot to this story too. Some people are calling it completely fake. Some people are saying, oh, they're just leaking the likely games that are coming out. Games like Rage 2. But one big one was listed here, and that was Borderlands 3. Now again, there's no real confirmation of this stuff because a lot of these companies will wait until E3 to show these games, whether they're leaked or not. So yeah, if you don't want to be spoiled, don't look at the list of games. But again, nothing is 100% confirmed. So you can leave it up to your own imagination whether or not this is real or not. Also, in the final story I have for you, soon you will be able to play your Steam games on your phone. So this is pretty cool. This is basically what a lot of the streaming to other devices is happening with Steam that has been happening for a long time. You're going to be able to stream to your phone, though. That's the thing. So you're going to have controller options for compatible controllers that will be able to connect to your phones, and you'll be able to play the respective games that respond to those controllers. I'm quite sure you're going to be able to set up a mouse and keyboard, but why would you want to do that on a phone? I don't know. Again, this is going to be limited to your own network within your home. So if you have a pretty decent Wi-Fi connection or Ethernet, you're going to be able to stream to it. Once again, you can stream from one PC to another PC and just use this PC in case your other PC's hardware isn't up to snuff. So if you have a really old laptop, you could do the same exact thing. If you have a really crappy phone, but it still supports this, you could do the same thing. It's very limited in capacity. It's just basically turning your screen into what your computer would be. You're just able to take your screen with you wherever you want to go. So if you really need to take your phone somewhere else and play a game at the same time, I guess there's that option. Again, I just like to tout that mobile grip is an option, so being able to play Steam and some games that have touch screen support, or they don't require a lot of inputs, you could use one of these with that and sit in your bed playing Steam games with your phone. So, I mean, that's an option. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't found it to work very well in the past for me personally. I mean, I'm just a traditional gamer. I sit down and play a game and I enjoy myself, but that's how I feel. So, I want to know how you feel, ladies and gentlemen. You let me know if you would play Steam in your bed if you could play it with a wireless Bluetooth controller, or maybe get the Xbox One controller working with it. I really like to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. I've been your host, Proto Mario. This has been another episode of News You Missed. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like and share it. Every like helps me to afford a better attire for you to sit here and stare at while you're listening to the news. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure to click that subscribe button and that alert bell to be alerted every time I upload a news video or a Pokemon theory or just some interesting content for you to watch. So I'll see you guys here in the next episode, and I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the end card if you'd like to see more videos. Thanks for watching, and as always, good gaming, God bless, and I'll see you later.